So many great things happening in this country. So many great things happening right now that we are experiencing. Today's theme, I want you to remember every single moment, every single day, start with this prayer, this affirmation, and ask yourself, remind yourself how we dodged a bullet. We dodged a bullet. Do you hear what I'm saying? Dodged a bullet. Imagine if Kamala were president today. Don't tell me that, oh, there's no way. It could have been so different for a variety of reasons. I'm glad it didn't happen that way. But remember this. I want you also to remember your job is not to be a cheerleader. Because you like somebody on Fox, because you think somebody trolled somebody, because you see somebody with a meme of somebody who drops, the mic and the glasses and the cigar. This is a different setup. Sometimes people say, well, I like so-and-so. I like Matt Gaetz because he trolls people. Well, okay, but that's not necessarily what we want. Remember that. Next, remember, Americans don't know anything. When I tell you nothing, did you hear anything regarding the Dutch, the Israeli alleged hooligans attacking the Dutch police in Amsterdam? I'll save you the time. Nope. Marco Rubio is not talking about that. So understand something too. Remember this. Before you get, and people always have this wonderful idea that, well, I'm so happy to be in charge. Yeah. But I want to continue to win. I want this world to improve. The cancer is still there. The herpes virus is still there. It's merely gone dormant. So let me ask you, my friends, to remind you of a couple of things. First and foremost, and this is very, very critical for you to understand this, 87% of all people watching this are not subscribed. 87%. That means when you watch me and us, they don't subscribe. Please do it. Please do it. Let us spread the holy word of truth. But first, this word from our sponsor. If you're suffering from daily aches and pains, please listen closely. Top medical experts have unveiled a natural pain reliever that is changing the way Americans fight pain. 100% drug-free Canolidine. Canolidine is the only solution that optimizes your body's natural painkillers called endorphins, providing full body relief without dangerous pills or known side effects. Over 1 million Americans and hundreds of professional athletes, including UFC fighters, have already embraced Canolidine's pain relief power. And best of all, Canolidine is legal worldwide, certified drug-free, and does not cause side effects, grogginess, or addiction. After 14 years of clinical research, it has been proven safe and effective, backed by thousands of successful use cases from other Americans just like you. And best of all, today you can try Canolidine for less than $1 per day. This is your opportunity to finally live pain-free. Click the link below to try the only Canolidine product in the world risk-free for a full 90 days. The private link and special discount expire at midnight tonight. Experience daily pain relief with Canolidine. You have nothing to lose but your pain. Special thanks for our good friend Howie Brown, who gifted 5, 10, and 5 more Lionel Nation memberships. Thank you, Howie. Huh? It is unbelievable. That's Howie. Thank you for that, Howie. You're a good man. Now, as I said before, and people will start to, as you know, herpes or herpetic virus sometimes will go dormant. You will have symptoms, and it goes into the spinal column and spinal cord and the central nervous system, and then later on there'll be a flare-up. It's still there. So you might have a symptom. You might think, oh, that's great. MAGA has won. For now, the cancer is in maybe remission, but it's not gone yet. We cannot turn our back on this. We cannot turn our back on this. And America cannot sit back and say, we're so happy to see President Trump win that anything he does, we're happy. And I know, I understand there's a balance because nobody asked me whether I liked those people. Why should we worry about what people think about President Trump's choices? I understand that. You understand what I'm saying? Good. Let me bring you a couple of points here. First, let's give the man his running shot. We will talk about Hexeth and Gates. And Gates, you might have done him more damage than anything else, but that's okay. He actually might be very good at what he does. I don't know. I think you can do exactly the same thing with a different person. But you know what? The problem is that the people that I know, my political friends who are Trump supporters, they are saying, I live in a world of trolling. I love to see compilations of somebody told off, somebody put in their place. That's what I like. That's my, yeah, but that doesn't really help the cause. It doesn't matter. I like this. I don't really care about the cause. I don't even know what the cause is. I just like Joy Behar. And by the way, let me reiterate my request of you. I am never going to, from now on, and I'll mention this as an example, if Joy Reid decides to deactivate from Twitter, I'm not going to mention it other than I'm telling you. I'm not going to retweet it or talk about it. I'm going to do nothing about the View, nothing about Mophead, nothing. Ryan says, John Bolton is demanding the FBI investigate Tulsi Gabbard before her confirmation, even though she already had a security clearance from the military. She's already been investigated. These never-Trumpers are ridiculous. He is, as you know, and I'm going to say this, and I know nobody wants to hear this, he is both an Israel government shill and a neocon. Let me try to tell you this again, and it may not matter to you, but it's okay. Marco Rubio is a shill. He's a yes man. He'll do whatever President Trump tells him what to do. But his idea the other day of this trope, when they asked him to say, what do you believe about a ceasefire? Now remember how many Gazans have been killed. And he repeats this trope. Number one, he said, and you make sure you watch this. And he was this was for AIPAC or whatever, which is, fine. Call it what it is. You can pretend it's something else all day long. We're going to do whatever we have to do to make sure that Hamas is removed. They're not going to do. There's no such thing as that, and that's an excuse for basically leveling Gaza. And we're going to keep bombing as long as Hamas uses the people in Gaza as a human shield. These are two tropes that's it. That's their. Okay, that's what I say. That's what you say. All right. Marco Rubio couldn't. Well, we'll see. Let's give him a chance. But you got to know the truth. You have to know the truth. And I don't even bother with this because this is not an IR, an international relations audience. It's never been a concern of yours. And I don't mean this in a negative way. It's just never been a concern of yours. BRICS and it's other, you go to other people. If you want to, everybody has their different, we used to call it years ago, stationality. Stationality is when, not so much the format, like radio stations were country, AC, AOR, news talk, whatever it was. That's a station, that's a format. Stationality is kind of like that, kind of like the essence of this. Now, the problem with a lot of this is that most Americans don't want to hear the truth, but that's okay. But let me start off with this. of the domestic parts of the world that bother me. This is something that we have to get absolutely done with. And it can be done only by pointing it out, mocking it incredibly, and pointing out for the mental health disaster that it is.
Hey, my fellow ladies out there. So, men think they own you. Take it from somebody that used to be a man.
Used to be.
You got boobs. You got a vajayjay.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what, honey? You own them. Trust me, they want it.
I want you to remember this.
Make them earn it.
Make them earn it. This fellow has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. But this is the mental illness trope that has been promoted throughout 4 years of this lunacy. Absolute 4 years of this utter lunacy. And that's the most important. Anything that can be done. We dodged a bullet. I'm going to say this again. We dodged a bullet with Kamala. This is a person who absolutely, let me remind you how close it came. I know somebody who actually had this woman's yard sign in her yard. This woman, some people who are depressed that this thing didn't win. There are people who actually said, who wanted this idiot to win. Look at this. These are people professionals and academicians and supposedly, educated folks who actually wanted this dingbat to win. You understand what I'm saying? We dodged a bullet. She could have been the president. This was their choice. I want you. We could talk about Matt Gaetz we'll talk about him in a moment. All day long. This was the choice. They thought nothing of it. I know people who actually said, I have to take a mental health day because this woman and that tampon Timmy, who, by the way, is just obliterated, he will go the way of Thomas Eagleton, not even Geraldine Ferraro. She was different, but who was Tim Kaine? But none of the aforementioned were problematic. This idiot picked an even bigger idiot, and we dodged. Imagine Xi Jinping. Imagine Putin, Erdogan, Macron, anybody. Well, it was Zelensky maybe in the old days, but not now. This is a child. This is a child. And these are the people, let me remind you, who brought us this.
My name is Admiral Rachel Levine, and I have the honor of being the Assistant Secretary for Health at the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month.
Happy
and
Pride,
actually, let's declare it a summer of pride. Happy Summer of Pride.
Gender-affirming care is life-saving, medically necessary, age-appropriate, and a critical tool for healthcare providers. As a pediatrician, when it comes to making sure kids are healthy and happy, I know how important care that affirms someone's true identity can be.
So, let's talk for a moment about the trans health.
Let me stop right there. I can't watch it. Let me just remind you, and to everybody else who wants to talk about Hegseth or talk about Matt Gaetz or whatever, and it's okay. You should be asking yourself, how in the hell did this nonsense ever happen? This is insanity. This was insanity. And America sat back and took it. America sat back and took it. And I know people who say, well, and I will tell you, yes, of course, there are people I know for a fact who might say, whether I'm a man trapped in a woman's body or vice versa, whether I understand that. That's great. You're an adult. You say whatever you want. But children, dump that chump. WTF is that thing? Well, that thing is gone. But let me remind you, people are saying, do you think Pete Hegseth really can do his thing? Let me remind you of something.
President-elect Biden made overturning President Trump's ban on open transgender military service a day one priority.
Let me try this again. Listen to this. This is the 71-year-old battle-hardened choice, Lloyd Austin.
Mr. Austin, President-elect Biden made overturning President Trump's ban on open transgender military service a
ban on open transgender, having men basically in the military, I guess, dressed whatever iteration of this is. So this is the fellow that the left says there's nothing wrong with him.
Day one priority. Can you confirm your commitment?
I support the president's plan.
Because you have no balls. I know you don't play. I know you don't. You have never. What you were addicted to is your military industrial war profiteering profits that you're making through the roof. That's what you want. You are a pusillanimous, impuissant, atesticular. He had his, remember he had his own prostate problems. He was gone and nobody even knew he was gone. A sellout, and Millie sellouts. He sold out your military, the military you love, the military you respect, the military you think so much about, the military that you never want to forget, the military whose service you honor. This man, one of the same military, wants to sell and would and did sell them out.
Plan to overturn the ban,
impose DEI and CRT and gender fluid standards into the military. You are breeding a less capable military.
This is the man, 44 years old. What was he? 3 years younger than Obama? He actually was in the military. Pete Hegseth was on Fox. So what? He has tattoos. So what? I don't understand what. Listen to what he's saying. What's wrong with him?
You are giving commanders less opportunity to train. There's less accountability. I heard time and time again from leaders, I'm walking on eggshells because I don't know what pronoun. We got transitioning soldiers in our units. I've got a quota I need to meet of a certain number of women and men or a certain number of minorities.
Let me ask you again, what's wrong with him? Anybody? What's wrong with him? Tell me. Why is he worse than that guy you just saw? Why? Anybody?
What are we doing here?
There's not a day in my life, David, when I didn't wake up and think about the fact that I was a black man.
Okay, here we go. A
number of the African Americans that we have talked to for this story have said when they are the only one in the room, they feel as if they're not being listened to.
You know, when you're the only one in the room who's smart, who knows what the hell's going on, when you're the only one in the room who is sentient and aware, possessed of the facts, it's lonely. And I'm telling you right now, there isn't a day that goes by when I don't wake up and I realize that, you know what? I'm the only one who knows what the hell's going on here. And it's lonely. It's lonely being me. And I am a minority of one.
Did you have that experience?
Absolutely had that experience.
But you know what I did do, Tim? I have an Army officer's guide from 1999, which was given to me before I was commissioned as a lieutenant, and it has a recommended reading list in it. Here's a quick list of some of the things in the recommended reading list from the Army from 1999. I think we have it, that we can put it up on the screen. That's definitely not it. That is the anti-racist list and the sexual murder. There we go. On War, The Soldier in the State, Company Commander, a classic. This is a reading list that connects to my job as an infantry platoon leader, which is to close with and destroy the enemy.
You guys said that Russia would overrun.
Now, this is a guy, by the way, they're going to load up. They're saying He was involved in sex trafficking investigations that never materialized, but he's nonetheless is a creepy guy. All right. This is a weird guy who's creepy. And his son, that kid that was gasted, whatever his son is, a creepy guy. All right. This is a guy who, you know, I understand that the sex trafficking, they never, believe me, if they don't find anything with this guy, there must be nothing to it. Just like they never did anything with Biden's brother or brother's son, cousins, all the family members with the LLCs. Okay, this is the guy, this is Matt Gaetz, who supposedly is causing everybody to lose their mind. Listen to him.
Ukraine in 36 days. You said that the Taliban would be kept at bay for months. You totally blew those calls. And maybe we would be better at them if the National Defense University actually worked a little more on strategy and a little less on wokeism.
Has it occurred to you that Russia has not overrun Ukraine because of what we've done and our allies have done?
Have you ever thought about the fact that Russia hasn't overrun Ukraine because Russia didn't want to? Putin said, I don't want Ukraine. Putin said, I don't want Ukraine. I don't want it. I don't want NATO. I'm stopping NATO. I don't want Ukraine. I don't want that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not going to send my men into the meat grinder. What the hell is my hurry? People don't understand that. Ukraine has suffered. I mean, I don't even know what that was. 500,000, 1 million. Russia's like, I'm not going to do that. So this guy, he is propagating the NATO line.
That was baked into your flawed assessment. That was baked into your flawed assessment. And so I saw that the Obama administration tried to destroy our military by starving it of resources. And it seems the Biden administration is trying to destroy our military by force feeding it wokeism.
No way this is.
What's wrong with Matt Gaetz? Okay, he's a creepy guy. I'll give it to you. It's creepy. All right. Maybe you have a few skeletons in the closet. I don't know. Maybe. But he's not Rachel Levine. He's not this other one. He's not dancing like a damn fool. He may not be perfect. I understand that. I understand it. Maybe there's somebody better. But you know what I say? I don't care what they say. I want somebody who's got guts, who doesn't stop, who loves taking these people on, who really considers it to be like a calling.
Constitutional to force people to take a vaccine when they could prove they already had COVID or they want a religious exemption. This is going to pit Americans against each other.
Will you call for the re-recruitment, restoration of full rank and back pay for the 8,600 service members who were vax mandated out of the military?
No, I won't.
Wow.
Think of the exact opposite of what the woke left has been advancing, and that's what Donald Trump is about to do, because we're awake to the schemes, the utopian schemes, the globalist schemes of what they're trying to peddle.
Thank you. And by the way, this guy, the reason why he won't do it, because he is a shill and a slave and a puppet to big pharma. It's true. Look, we can pretend all this. I don't care what anybody says. It's true. Pete Hegseth can't be the let him do it. Be the DOD compared to this guy. What are you nuts? This bought and sold, this puppet, this windsock, this sock puppet, this absolute apparatchik for the military industrial complex, big pharma and the usual suspects. Get his ass out of there. Bring in bring Matt Gaetz, tear it up. Go for it. Unleash. Don't let up. Leave, go in like a buzzsaw, like the Tasmanian devil.
Told our allies that no matter what the outcome of our review, the United States will not undertake a hasty or disorderly withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah? Wah, wah, wah. That didn't age well.
And that puts their forces or the alliance's reputation at risk.
There have been successful tactical retreats in the past. This is a disaster. It started with getting rid of the Bagram Air Base, which was securable. You can use that to get people out in addition to what you have in Kabul. So it is really demoralizing to see. But what's more demoralizing is the utter failure of our Defense Department and intelligence agencies to understand the nature of the enemy.
I appreciate that you think that was a big success, evacuation, but the blame for the disastrous withdrawal that everyone agrees was a disaster, who's to blame for that?
Can't answer.
I'll let the silence speak for itself.
See that? So let me ask you again. What? Pete Hegseth is worse than that? Huh? Matt Gaetz? Creepy. I'll tell you. And I told you a long time ago, be careful of him. But now that he's in, okay, fine. You think he's going to be better than Merrick Garland? Merrick Garland, who basically turned the Department of Justice against us, the Department of Justice against President Trump, the man who initiated lawfare, the Department of Justice, special prosecutors, Jack Smith. Are you kidding me? Tell me why he's worse. F you. Understand me? I'm going to clean this up. F you. Sit on it and rotate. It's a different story. But the president cannot stop with this. Go in and destroy this. Keep going. Matt Gaetz is going to have some he's going to have a rough time. They're saying, oh, there's no way he can make confirmation. Why not? Why not? I love people who want to stop this before. I've been sitting by for 4 years plus with this crap.
Our community needs,
okay?
And transgender medicine and gender-affirming care. I mean, that term is important, although our opponents have weaponized it.
So we really want to base our treatment and to affirm and to support and empower these youth, not to limit their participation in activities and sports, and even limit their ability to get gender affirmation treatment in their state.
And all these other radical left. Look at this.
I'm Admiral Rachel Levine.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Sayonara. Don't let it hit you on the backside, honey. Get out of here. Enough of this insanity. Now, let me also explain something to you. You do recognize the double cross that they pulled on Joe Biden, correct? You do understand, right? Let me show you something. The young turds, and I only use this. I don't normally like to promote this, but this, you'll see why this is important. Anna Melanoma, whatever her name is, she absolutely, because now they're not left. See, this is a show. This is like in wrestling. This is when you flip, when you go from baby face to heel. You've seen this before. You know how this is. All of a sudden, you're a bad guy. Now you're a good guy. Okay, all right. I got it. She says it perfectly here, and I want you to listen to this, and then followed by absolute brilliance.
Plan was to get Biden to, step down from the re-election bid.
You got this? No, she's absolutely right. This is from the young turds, by the way.
And then they were all planning an open primary.
That's right. She's correct. Okay, listen.
But Biden, 30 minutes after he dropped out of the race, decided to endorse Kamala Harris as a middle finger to the Democratic Party.
Professional comic or whatever. That is exactly what happened. Please do not miss this. Nobody's going to tell you. The left isn't going to tell you. And if you're watching anything, now Fox News will cover that. They're not going to cover what went on in Amsterdam. They're not going to cover what's going on in the Middle East. They're not going to do that. Remember, and I'm going to say this again, cut all cable news. That's just for fun. Have you ever been there? We have this little store we go to, and they have the most incredible potato chip line taco, chips and all that kind of stuff that you can ever imagine. Every conceivable kind of popcorn, and I mean, it's just from all over the world. That's not what you should be eating for sustenance. But if you're like, look, you don't want to, you're in a hurry, fine. That's what Fox News is. It's simple, easy to digest, very, very simple. And they'll kind of go into it, but there is an internecine battle that I hope the president is being able to handle separately from all of this stuff. Our good friend Ryan, did I say Ryan? Yeah, we said Ryan. Yes, right. Ryan was very good. Raul says, like herpes, the Dems will stop flaring up. They won't stop flaring up. They will not. Our good friend Mark says, we all know there will not be a peaceful transition. Will Raskin get his way? What other scam should we be awake to, Uncle L? What say you? Oh, I'll tell you. Absolutely. Howie Brown says, my AI, I guess, said Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama with donors forced Biden to step down. Yes, indeed. And Edie says, Anna Kasparian's got balls. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Anna Melanoma's got no balls. She realizes these people are losing. It's about money. Or not money, this. No, they're not. The same thing with junk yogurt. No, they're not. Whatever way. Oh, they're losing. Okay, all right, I'll go this way now. Oh, this way. Okay. Bill Maher does the same thing. Oh, he won. Okay, I'm over here now. I'm over here. Come on. She just figured this out. Listen, I understand this is a work. They don't believe what they're saying. It's an act. Maurice Houston says, we don't need out-of-touch generals who can't relate to the troops. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you mentioned what should you be aware of? I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it again and again and again. You better understand that the president could do so much, but that these people could still cause such a tumult, such a problem, such an absolute disaster when it comes to everything that's going on in the real world. I'm telling you right now, believe me. And one of the things you're going to need to do that the president can't help, nobody can help, and that's your ability to handle disaster. Not permanently, but for long stretches of time. And I don't mean 12 hours. I mean a week, 10 days. And if you think you've got enough food and you can get to it and you're ready to go, especially if you have kids with a variety, 2,000 calories a day of a variety of food, you don't. You don't. And if you think you can buy MREs enough to handle 10 days, if you just think it's a matter of, okay, that's fine. I might be great for a camping trip, maybe good for the weekend. For 10 days, a month? No. Preparewithlionel.com. This is the, I would say, the Cadillac, the Bugatti, the Rolls. They're incredible. Preparewithlionel.com. Go and look and see what I mean, look, you've heard me before. We're not talking about just food. We're talking about, remember, food, water, energy, and ammo. That's incredible. And gold. Let me throw in the gold, okay? In any event, preparewithlionel.com. That's what I would do, first of all. And by the way, while we're on the subject, listen, Christmas is around the corner. I can't believe June was just, life is flying by. Don't forget our friends at mypillow.com. Mypillow.com. Use promo code Lionel and receive a free gift, which might be tautological, but nonetheless, it's true. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Now, let me just go back to this, my friends. You're going to have to ask yourself, okay, what level of involvement do I really want here? And most people say, be honest, because I want you. It's like I'm the sales manager of a car dealership. What are you looking for? You want a vehicle to just drive around on the weekend? You want you're going to be hauling lumber? Is it to drive the kids to practice? Tell me what you need. And this is what most people will say. All right. This is the typical American. Foreign, I don't care. I'm not interested in that. Okay, fine. It's like the options. I don't care about the undercarriage. I don't care about foreign. I really don't. Doesn't matter to me. I honestly don't know. I've never cared. I'm an American. We don't, this whole, the globe thing. I don't care about that. Okay, what is it? What about domestic? Well, yeah, I do like domestic. Only especially if it makes the Democrats look bad. How about making the Republicans look good? No, I don't really care about that. I want the Democrats to look bad. I like to live in a world where I can just see trolls, not trolls, but negative stuff. I want to make fun and laugh. Okay, fine. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to show you something which I think is so fascinating. This blows my mind. Now watch this, because you have to know where to look.
Like, this is the hood. You know Cypress, you know Wright, you know Egley. You're in the hood here. So it's currently 1:38 in the morning, but we're driving and we saw some. Damn. Look at what's in the hood.
In the hood, not the face.
We the people.
Let me stop right there. Do you see what's happening here? Do you see what's happening?
You like that? How do you feel about that?
That's clean.
That's clean? That's your boy?
Making change in the community.
Dude, his... Che trompas.
Now, again, we'll get into some of the argot, argo, the vernacular. Do you understand? You walk around now with a MAGA hat, nobody's going to yell at you. Not like before. It's changed. The president cannot lose that momentum, but he has to go in for the kill. I don't care about I don't care necessarily about the what am I trying to say? I don't really care about whether we have a good a piece that we can play, something that we control. What I want to know is that there are absolute changes, drastic changes. I want the legislation that he wants. I want you to change more than anything else. I want you to, number one, you have got to remove these people forcibly, called mass deportation. And I suggested this before. We must have a symbol of this, the white bus. We have the short bus, the yellow bus. We have the black helicopters. We always use these phrases. The white bus, and there's plenty of them, to pick these people up, iris scan them, and tell Tom Homan to explain, here's what we're doing. You have to be able to do that so that people can see it. If you tell them a number, if you say right now we picked up 20,000, okay, you say 20,000. Let's say people who do weight loss ads on radio. Okay, if that's what you say, I'm 8 feet tall. Okay, it's radio, whatever you say. That's critical. Absolutely critical. Unbelievable. Number one, do it now. Of course, he hasn't been inaugurated, but the first day, Rudy Giuliani did this. When Rudy Giuliani became mayor, everybody in New York said, do something about squeegee men. Squeegee men were these ruffians, these ne'er-do-wells, who when you came out of the Lincoln Tunnel, there they were standing there with a bucket and a squeegee, and they would come up with your windshield and smear it and break the. It was awful. It was terrible. So what he did was he said, "Oh, is this what you noticed first? Yes. Oh, so the absence of these people would be noticed first? Yes. Okay." And they were gone. Next day, New York Post, squeegee men are gone. And thank God they never came back. because I think it's just a different time. And I think people just, he didn't futz around worrying about education. I want to make nobody feels education. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, the education system in this country. No, you don't feel that. But squeegee men, you see. That you see. We had something called aggressive panhandling. I don't know how he did that one, but they just disappeared. We're also seeing fewer and fewer and fewer illegals around here. So that's what's critical. And that's what he has to do. Number one. Okay? Then he starts doing, he has to get rid of as many things. He's got to talk to his attorney general, Mr. Gates, and say, and by the way, he also has Office of Legal Counsel. What can I immediately reverse by virtue of executive order? Signing statements, PDDs, PDB, whatever you want to go, presidential daily, whatever, what quasi-legislative, what can I do to remove this contamination of this infiltration of lunacy like this thing? How do we get rid of
fellow ladies out there?
I don't mean get rid of him. Look, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want. I don't really care. What I care about is the fact that this all of a sudden was considered, this is natural. And no, these are actors. This guy's no more a woman than I am Eleanor Roosevelt. He wants to go on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever the hell it is. These aren't sincere people. I guarantee you, after this is over with, 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, you won't recognize them. It's back. Do you think that all these people who sat there and screamed and yelled in the front seat of their car, you think they're going to still continue with this caterwauling? No, the audience is over. They're going to go back to the way they were, which is the way they've always been. It's an act. It's a reason why people eat Tide Pods for reasons I don't understand. It's an act. It's planking. It's twerking. It's whatever is new. If all of a sudden you said, there's this new thing where we take an American flag and we stick it in our eye, there would be people, maybe not as many as you would think, but there'd be some who would say, okay, these people are not women trapped in a man's body or vice versa. It doesn't work that way. They've never been. And what's also is they've made a mockery of people who I believe are truly, and they exist, a de minimis number, I believe, who are truly transgendered or transsexual or crypto-gendered. Now listen to this. Let me ask you something. You know, and I know, and Joe Rogan or Lex Friedman or Neil deGrasse Tyson, that absolute gatekeeper, along with Carl Sagan. You know how Bill Nye, the science guy, he's just gone. He's going to be like Tim Walsh, just gone. Listen to me. We are not alone. There are people in the universe other than we humans on Earth. I don't know where they are. Are they at maybe perhaps Zeta Reticuli, the nearest binary star? I don't know. Are they in different parallel universes? I don't know. Are they? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Are they UFOs? Unidentified aerial phenomena? I don't know. EBEs, extraterrestrial biological entities? I don't know. I don't know. But if you think there's nothing to this, no. Now, for reasons that we could opine, maybe because of the military-industrial complex, maybe because of the aerospace industry that doesn't want this to be known, I don't know. But I am telling you, listen to me, they are here. They have been here. They don't want to talk to us. They don't want to get out of their vehicle and stretch their legs. They don't care about this. I don't know if they look like, if they got the big head with the almond eyes. I don't know. They may not even be human. They may be sending orbs or robots. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen one, but I've never seen an electron either. They are here. They are here. And you can say all day, no, they're not. No, no, no. They're here. Absolutely, positively, you know it and I know it. And we need more of this.
In regards to these aircraft.
Hector, remember Elizondo, I like this. This is Ana Paulina Luna from Florida.
Being piloted by whatever they might be, non-human biologics. Would you agree that it's likely that they are being piloted by some mind-body connection?
Now let's mind-body. Let me tell you this one. This is one of the most important issues for us to consider. And I don't care whether you think it's funny, stupid, you want to laugh. I don't care. It's real.
Ma'am, I think it is safe to presume here that they are being intelligently controlled because some cases seem to anticipate our maneuvers, and in other cases they seem to, I came across an email where the word stalked was used in a very secure email.
Stalk, not stock, but S-T-A-L-K, in any event.
Between Navy officers discussing their ships being pursued by a UAP.
In our previous panel, we had Grush, and he had testified to say that some of these were interdimensional beings.
Does it look like she is an unidentified anomalous phenomenon? It's kind of funny.
Can you speak on that at all?
Ma'am, I'm not qualified, certainly as a scientist or otherwise, to speculate points of origin. I looked at everything from a scientific perspective. So if you look at, for example, instantaneous acceleration, which was one of the observables.
Instantaneous acceleration.
Of the program that I belong to, ATIP, the human body can withstand about 9 G forces for a short
9 G forces we can take.
Period of time before you suffer negative biological consequences.
That means you're dead. 9 Gs before you're dead, before your internal organs crush, and before you die. A hideous, horrible, painful death. 9 Gs max.
Blackouts and ultimately redouts and even
blackouts and redouts. Class, what's a redout?
Death. Comparison, our best technology, the F-16, which is this older platform, but one of our most highly maneuverable aircraft, manned aircraft, made by General Dynamics, can perform about 17 or 18 G forces before you start having structural failure, meaning that the airframe begins to disintegrate while you're flying. The vehicles we're talking about are performing in excess of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Gs.
So are you, I guess, would it be safe to infer that they're living craft?
I'm not prepared at this point to state for the record is something alive or not, because even that definition is hard. There was a time in science we thought that life required oxygen, and we now know that's not true. There are anaerobic bacteria that thrive in oxygen environments that lack oxygen. And so also same with photosynthesis. When I was in college, I was told everything is derived from photosynthesis as a form of energy. In reality, that's not true. There are things that live off of chemosynthesis. So we're constantly having to reevaluate our understanding of what the definition of life is.
By the way, red out for those is when you're decelerating, you're actually going downward. Sometimes this red, because of the congestion of blood, you see a red field, and it's because of these accelerations. Okay. Now, whenever you talk to Americans, the first thing they do is they have to joke about it, because it means more to Americans to joke about stuff. We live for the quip. We live in a world of, and notwithstanding here, but there are some folk who all they do is they live to say the funny quip, this thing, this, how about a Uranus? And when you tell them, do you have any idea of what this will mean to humankind? If one day we say, okay, here it is, We've got one. Here's what they look like. Here's what they can do. Show us what you can do. All right. Do you? Can you? It will freak everybody out. AI, there's two things that I'm truly in awe of. AI, AGI, because of the implications, but and also extraterrestrial critters or whatever it is. Wouldn't you love to sit there and say, okay, let me show you something? Imagine they could talk. First of all, don't be surprised if they don't talk. Don't be surprised. There's also very, very different forms of these things. What is the current average life form on Earth? What is it? It's a bacterium. That's because there's more bacteria than anything else. So the average, the most representative thing on this planet is a bacterium. We are rare compared to, okay? So you're going to ask, how are they represented? Number two, things on this planet look differently. A moth, a giraffe, a mountain. I mean, there's a raisin. There's, a fish versus a bear. Any similarities? I got eyes. Okay. So you have grays, which is that classic. There were these larger versions. They look like Swedes. I don't know. But the idea that they all look the same way, with the big head and the big eyes. But don't be surprised if they sat in a little vehicle and said, all right, sit down. Let me show you something. First of all, you're too big. You got to look like me. They're shorter. They're more compact. They have little mouth. The grays. No, I don't know about that. Little mouth. They don't speak. Telepathy. What? Telepathy. Why are we speaking? That's ridiculous. Accent speaking. That's so. Speaking. We're beyond speaking. Speaking is ridiculous. Speaking, you mean you got to be? No, we're thinking. I don't know how you turn thoughts off if you can read. I don't know. Smaller, spindly mouths. Maybe, as Elizondo said, they most probably, get their energy through photosynthetically, chemosynthetically, something. But the idea of eating something, having to find food, cook it, eat it, digest it, and it's just. And again, they'll look at you like, what is this? Okay, let's assume you can get in my craft. Bob Lazar said this, other people kind of intimated. You get into this craft. First of all, the craft that you're seeing, are probably orbs. They're probably not manned by anything. Maybe they're just, think about motherships as Stanton Friedman said, it's almost like an aircraft carrier where they have, various little pods and orbs. They take off and do their thing from the mothership. Okay, fine. But you're in this thing, and this is my favorite. You sit in it, and you wear a kind of a little bit of a suit or something, and you put your hands in this device, and you wear this little head band, they said. And now you are part of the ship. You are the ship. You're like a transistor. You're like a circuit. You're in it. You're not just a passenger. You're like the circuit. You are the motherboard. You're in it. And you say, okay, let's go. But not only are they flying around, they can control the particular inertial world you're in, their own inertia, their own their own protective coating, their own inertial world where they can turn right and not have their guts or whatever splatter. Because you can't do 1,000 Gs, but you can do it if you can control the inertial atmosphere, perhaps, or other concepts. Because we're always using our own idea. Well, you can't go that fast. No, you can't go that fast. We can go that fast. And how about if you're in there and you say, ready, let's go. Boom. And you're off. Now, the idea, people are laughing about this, the notion of anti-gravitic. I think Ed Witten's father did this. Anti-gravitic, warp, dimpled little indented, little divots in space-time that allow you to basically fall. You fall. The acceleration is flying this way. It's the most incredible thing in the world. You're flying. You're flying by virtue of falling. And you can turn and this and that. And maybe one day you might be able to go from dimension to dimension. I don't know. Time-space warping. Imagine you're at a long table in the old days, like at San Simeon, and you're dining with Hearst, and he's at one end of the table and you're at the other end. This long table. Remember Putin's desk or table during COVID? There's a tablecloth, and you want the salt. And theoretically, you could say, you know what? I could get up and get the salt, or I could take the tablecloth, much to the chagrin of your table mate, but you could crunch it up and retract the tablecloth by scrunching it up, contracting time and bringing it towards you. Things that just blow our minds. And it would look at you and say, you're burning gas? You put gas into a what? Into a plane? A gas? My God. And you run out of gas? Well, we're on hydrogen or whatever it is. It's the most fascinating thing in the world. What if they could one day look at you and say, cancer? Oh, we used to have that. Yeah, not anymore. We don't have that because of what you eat or what you ingest. But instead of humans being fascinated by this, instead of humans feeling the sense of, yes, I see this. Oh, I love it. I love the imagination aspect of it. I love opining. I love thinking about this. Yes, just sitting back and just dreaming. No, we laugh about it because we get nervous and we don't understand things and we don't like to think about stuff. We really don't care for it. It's not who we are. You dig? That's our problem. We don't sit back and think. I can't even explain artificial intelligence to most people because, well, they might not be intelligent, but because they can't understand the notion of how it would work, about how the notion of something, the idea of something having awareness. Imagine a computer system or a machine or something having awareness, being able to learn and applying judgment, having a personality, and therefore maybe the question is, well, does it have a soul? Why is a human the only thing with a soul? Does a dog have a soul? I would like to think so. Why can't an artificial intelligence program have a soul? Man created it. God created man. But when you get to this point, with most people, they say, look, I just don't have to. I don't want to. Can we just run that picture of Rachel Levine? And that's an important thing, too, because we need to figure out to go back, maybe not in this generation, maybe not even the next one, but soon, we need to get kids to learn how to daydream, and think, and imagine, and wonder, say, wow, and think like Elon does. How do you back the actual rocket back into the launching framework? Back it in? Can we travel to the moon? Do we want to? People who dream like that, but we don't do that. Why? Because we have no education. We have indoctrination centers. And right now, as the exit polls said, people worried so much about finances and money. And the people who are drowning in debt today are at levels you can't imagine. That's why this message is so critical. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, Many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even helped negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively, and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. Somebody just asked, is this a commercial? Wow. Wow. So my friends, remember, this is so critical right now. In peroration, I will tell you that Matt Gaetz, I wish him well. I hope he doesn't have any problems. But I'm not going to worry about anybody suggesting that he might not be the best move after 4 years of Merrick Garland. I don't want to hear anybody say that Hegseth isn't going to be a good one, because after Lloyd Austin, and they want to go after Tulsi Gabbard, she was on the do not fly list. Come on. And now she's head of the DNI. Give President Trump a chance. I hope he realizes make the best point. And by the way, anytime you cannot have somebody subjected to Senate approval, even better. Tom Homan is kind of like an appointed czar. Just like, chiefs of staff and things like that. All right? Okay. My friends, thank you for today, for this eve. Bradley Oplin says, what do you think of B4 man-haters? I'm not sure. I think before they were a man-hater, I don't know. It's an interesting question. But I thank you nonetheless. Maurice Houston and Edie Crowley and Howie Brown and Mark Kolisha, thank you. Raul. Ryan, thank you so much, my friend. And Howie Brown, thank you for your incredible gift of free, not free, but membership gifts. I appreciate that immensely. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious time. Remember, we dodged a bullet. Make sure we make sure, because Gavin Newsom is ready and waiting. Make sure. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Don't forget, follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Thank you so much for your help last night, because remember, when you subscribe to us, you promote us, and people get to hear the holy word of truth. All right, my friends, see you later. Have a great day, and don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dad.